All right, so we'll begin. Okay, so before beginning, I do want to ask you about the quiz that we had last week. Did anyone have questions? There was one of you who asked, Ishal asked me a few questions. And I would want you, if there were some confusions and if you felt that there were a lot of options and you were thinking that if you have a question in any of the options, for example, right? If you're questioning if, for example, one of the options really should have been a part of the answer or not, even if that is your concern, please come up to me with it. You can email me or WhatsApp me because I will be considering that. Because again, what's happening is that I don't want to sort of repeat the MCQs used in the past, okay? Because otherwise it becomes the same, past paper sort of format. So I always want to bring in new MCQs, and when that happens, a lot of times because I'm, thinking of a lot of things and also considering what I've mentioned in class, right, in the lecture, and I want to include that, not just the reading, also what I've said in the lecture. Sometimes because it's against, subjective. This subject is again subjective, right? So it could be that you are thinking something different, and I want to bring that to the table. So do send all those queries in, and by next week we'll look into that. Okay? Acha. So now for next week, I've already let you know that it's going to be on free will and predestination. And we're hopefully, inshallah, going to finish human origins and then you're going to have the quiz. So it might be delayed or it might be next week, Saturday, if we can manage to finish human origins by Friday, inshallah. So today we're going to again repeat. Well, I had just introduced Asharis and Maturidis, not really even introduced last time. So we're going to open that up for you, inshallah. And this debate, so when we talked about theology last time, there are a lot of things within that. Okay, so for example, when in the Quran there is a mention of the hand of Allah, Yadullah, right? Now, how are you going to define that? So either you take it as something which we cannot understand, and of course Allah says that I'm not like anything that comes into your mind, right? Walam yakul lahu kufuwan ahad. That means then it's not like a hand as we know it. It's not like a human hand, but he still decides to use the word hand. So we'll just take it as it is and not think about it. That's one way to go, right? But like one of you said, that was Hidayatullah, right? That if okay, so the quotation you mentioned is actually by Tahawi. So I'll put that here actually in red because interestingly, all these three people were contemporaries. So this famous book, which is studied even today in the Madaris, is Aqidah Tahawiyya. Okay? And he is saying that you shouldn't really, think too much about it. Don't go too much into it. Okay. And this is taught actually in the subcontinent, I think, majorly, even more so than the Ashari Akida and the Maturidi Akida. Why is that? Because what these were contemporary. So you can look at Ashari was, I think he died in 324. Oh no, my pen is a bit 324. And Maturidi, Abu Mansur al-Maturidi, died in around 333. Tahawi is also a contemporary and he's focusing more on naqal. What is naqal? Urdu mein naqal kya hota hai? Copy karna, right? In the Arabic language, what we're saying when we say naqal is simply that we're more concerned with nusus. Has anyone heard of nas in the when you've studied the Quran? I'm not sure, but what nas means is that what is there as a text in the Quran, okay, and that cannot be changed. When we take what is in the Quran, we're saying that we're using naqal, and it's sort of the opposite of akal because akal means to use your rationality, to use your own opinion, right? And naqal means that you take what is given, that's it. You sort of copy what's given, okay? So the Aqidah Tahawiyya is a lot to do with naqal, but where this became a problem is when in the same century, the Mu'tazilites came into focus. All right. So the Mu'tazilites now actually their theology wasn't all that bad, but there was one problem with it, one main problem with it, and that was that they said that because they were advocates of free will, they said I think I need to change my pen. So what they said was, let me open this up for you. That humans are the creators of their actions. Okay? Humans create their own actions. And why are they saying this? Because of course, if you think about it, agar aap destiny के बारे में बहुत ज़्यादा सोचते हैं. So remember what is Imam Tahawi saying? He's saying that if you're going to think too much about it, you're going to go to either extreme. And this is what happens. So the Jabarites and the Qadariya, they said that we're going to completely believe in everything being predestined, and we're not going to think about it. That's the way it is. Everything is predestined. Just stop thinking about it. And on the other hand, the Mu'tazilites, they said that humans are now the creators of their actions. So when I choose an action, I'm also creating it. ठीक है, this is अब ये बहुत बारीक detail हो रही है, and we're not even going into all of the other things like, like I mentioned, anthropomorphism. We're not going into that because वो बहुत detailed हो जाता है. For that, you need an entire other course. यानी आपको पूरा course theology पे, अकीदा पे करना पड़ेगा. So what is अकीदा? अकीदा simply means I believe. It's creed, right? What is creed? It is what you believe in and what is your foundation. So we're only focusing on free will and predestination. And what the Mu'tazilites said was that because humans have free will, they said they're also the creators of their actions. Now, let me give you an example. If somebody does something good for me, I'm going to thank them and say that you're the one who did this for me. Okay? You are taking God out of the picture. क्योंकि असल बात क्या होती है, a lot of times when we end up doing something good, we realize that that inspiration or motivation came from a divine source. इससे भी हम बात करेंगे at the end of the, inshallah, hopefully today, virtues की बात करेंगे. इमाम गजाली ने पूरा एक exposition, he explained how a person can develop virtues. And that's going to sort of tie into your Islamic spirituality module as well. Okay? So we're going to open that up. Let's go back to Ash'ari. First, let me introduce Ash'ari and Maturidi Aqidah. Essentially, when I got off track, I believe, I was explaining that they were an answer to the Mu'tazilites, right? So the Ash'ari Aqidah, Maturidi, and Tahawi, they were answering the Mu'tazilites. What are they saying? Now, the Ash'aris are the bridge between Naql and Aql. You can say that. So this is perhaps, I think, one of the best, answers according to my own study of, this subject. I believe that the way that they sort of bridge Naql and Aql is one of the best things, right? And Maturidis, they focus more on Aql. So they are more towards using reason. They prefer reason. And the Ash'aris, they prefer sort of like a bridge between Aql and Naql. So they also, they take revelation, I think, a bit more important. They take it sort of as their primary focus. And you will see that in the letter of Hassan al-Basri. So don't forget that he is an Ash'ari. That's the first reading in your package on free will and predestination. Okay, so what did the Ash'aris and the Maturidis say? They're basically answering the Mu'tazilites when they say that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is Al-Qadir. What does Qadir mean? Qadir, actually, right? He has power over everything. He defines himself like that in the Quran, that he has power over everything. And when you say power, what does that mean? आप देखें कि अगर कोई leader होता है, ठीक है, or you choose a leader, you want to know how much power he has, you want to know what he can do. So, what actions is he willing to do, for example? पहली बात है कि कितनी power है. Okay, the leader wants to do this. Does he really have any power to actually get that done? Okay, so the question is how much power, what actions can be done. इसमें will आ जाता है, इरादा क्या है? Like if that person doesn't have any will, even if he has power, he's not going to get anything done. ठीक है? तो उसमें इरादा या will भी आ जाती है. So these questions pop up. Now, when Allah is Al-Qadir, when He is the most powerful, we're saying that it is his will that counts. It's His will whether you go into heaven or hell, right? That is at the end you have to say it's His will. Does that make sense? Or do you have a question? And I do want you guys to think about it. Like, why are we saying that Allah has all, this power and will? Let me show you the ayahs in the Quran.
I have a question.
Ji.
You have said that Allah has power that He will decide whether we will go in heaven or hell.
Depending on ji.
Then why we have been sent to this world?
Depending on our actions. That doesn't mean, so when I say that he has the will, like it is his will, ठीक है, उनकी इजाजत से इंसान जन्नत या जहन्नम जाएगा, right? Now when I'm saying that, I'm not saying that he can do whatever he wants. ये भी हम कहते हैं he can do whatever he wants, but that doesn't mean he's going to go against justice. ये दोनों चीजें साथ लेनी है. He said, I am just. Nobody is going to be facing injustice in the akhirah. And whatever happens will happen according to what we choose in this world. But again, at the end of the day, it's his will. That doesn't mean he will go against what we have. Like, I mean, इसमें injustice का aspect कहीं भी नहीं आ रहा, ठीक है? But what it means is that a human being realizes that at the end of the day, this is the being who counts. Nobody else counts. Nothing else counts. This is the being who I have to please. मैंने इनको मनाना है बस. That's it. So that is what it means when we say that he is all powerful. ठीक है? कि हमने किसको मनाना है? Like how are we going to get what we want? It's because we have to become best friends with Allah. That's actually how, like, this is the easier way to translate it, right? अच्छा, अब आप ये देखें कि जो verses है ना कुरान में on Allah's decree, and not an atom's weight in the earth or in the sky escapes your Lord, nor what is less than that or greater than that, but it is written in a clear book. So again, nothing escapes him. That is also his power. ठीक है कि एक दाना बराबर भी ईमान किसी के दिल में है, or any feeling that you have in your heart, it doesn't escape him. Any good feeling, any bad feeling, a little bad feeling you had and you did not act upon it, you're going to get a reward for that. How is that going to happen? Only when he knows even that atom a weight of whatever feeling you're having, right? Or whatever act you're doing. No misfortune can happen on earth or in your souls, but is recorded in a decree before us, i.e., this is a royal we, Allah. That is truly easy for Allah, in order that you may neither despair over matters that pass you by nor exult over favors bestowed upon you. So this I mentioned a little bit, I think, last week, that the reason everything is predestined. And again, this is what the Ash'aris, Abu al-Hasan Ash'ari, let me write down the names for you. So Abu al-Hasan in green. He was a descendant of, does anyone remember a companion named Ash'ari, his last name being Ash'ari? Abu Musa al-Ash'ari, all right? So he was a descendant of Abu Musa al-Ash'ari. So Abu al-Hasan Ash'ari answered this, right, in your letter by Hassan al-Basri. This is another Hassan, this is another Hassan, right? This was the founder. And here Hassan al-Basri's letter is just written by one of the Tabi'is.
Ma'am?
Ji.
Abu Musa Ash'ari was from Kufa, right?
Abu al-Hasan Ash'ari was in Baghdad, and Abu Musa Ash'ari जो थे वो companion थे, sahabi थे, right? So ये उनके descendant हैं. उनके descendant जो कि Baghdad में, he passed away in Baghdad. So he was in Baghdad and refuting the Mu'tazilites. All right. And Abu Hassan al-Basri, Abu Mansur al-Maturidi. Can you guys see the whiteboard? I think the whiteboard is being shared, right? आप अपना बात करके म्यूट, हाँ थैंक यू सो मच, म्यूट कर ले माइक क्योंकि वो फिर डिस्टोर्शन होती है. And this was Abu Mansur al-Maturidi, which is why it's called Maturidi. Now, why do these names pop up? I think these names usually confuse us a lot, right? The usual example I give is that, for example, आपने सुना होगा of a famous Sufi, I think Abdul Qadir Jilani का सबने सुना होता है usually, ठीक है? So let's suppose somebody says that ये कादरी word कहाँ से आया? It comes from Abdul Qadir al-Jilani, ठीक है? So let's assume one of you, maybe Hidayatullah. Okay, so let's suppose he goes on a trip to meet Abdul Qadir al-Janani back at that time. Who's your friend? Anyone? Can you name someone? Aapka naam? Sorry, Yahya. Okay. So he comes back and Yahya says कि तुम्हें क्या हुआ है? तुमने दाढ़ी रख ली है, अब ये 5 वक्त नमाज पढ़ने जा रहे हैं. ये पहले जो हेल्प करता था मेरी चीटिंग कर रहा था. I'm sorry, but I'm not saying you cheat, but I'm just giving an example. और अब जो है ये बिल्कुल बदल गया है. He's not even helping me anymore, right? Because he thinks it's cheating. तो हुआ क्या है आखिर? So he says that I went and I met this person and I, attended their gathering for a month or two. Why don't you come with me and then you'll see? Okay. Now he takes his friend and then Yahya comes back and then he also is changed. He's a different person. Okay. He's more interested in talking about how to make himself better. And then another friend of his goes like, "Tum dono ko kya hua," right? Now this becomes famous. So what happens is people start calling these people who are coming from, this halaqa, you can say, or from this gathering. Maybe 10 years later, they get to be known as Qadiris. Why? Because they went into the company of this particular scholar or sheikh or whatever, and then they gained something from that. So it's almost like calling yourself a Luminite or an IBA graduate. What do you call yourself? I'm not sure. IBA alumni? Hi, Lumske, usually we call them Luminites, right? So what does that mean? It just tells you that you've been associated with a particular institution or a particular group. So similarly, the teachings of Abu al-Hasan Ash'ari, how do I move this upwards? Sometimes something simple becomes confusing. Okay, so Abu al-Hasan Ash'ari, his teachings, when people sort of went along with them, right? They agreed with them. They call themselves Ash'aris. And they also, you have to remember that this is a scholarly debate. This is not something happening amongst the lay people. Okay? So people who were interested, nowadays, actually, I believe everybody's interested. Okay? Yani hum is waqt pe aa gaye hain that we do need to have these discussions because in our university, in our secular education, we are really far ahead. Okay, we're going into all these details, and for example, maybe a lot of you may have studied Plato and Aristotle, so you've already been exposed to these philosophical debates, right? So this becomes something which is very important for us now. Okay, अगर आपने एक हद तक एक level तक education हासिल कर ली है, then why not in Islam as well? Why not the theology of Islam as well? Okay? But us waqt kya tha ki the lay people were not interested because there's a hadith of the Prophet that yes, there, the simple person, I'm just paraphrasing, that the simple person will enter Jannah easily. What does the simple person mean? Now the Quran is not just for scientists, it's also for, the simple person who maybe has no education at all. A farmer, when he studies the Quran, he says that what are the signs Allah is referring to? The sunset, the sunrise, right? The mountains around him, and if in the desert, the camel. So jab ye natural signs insan dekhta hai and then remembers Allah, this is not meant just, it's like you can't say that Quran is a scientific book, but it will have something for the scientist as well. So it does have clues as to the, the development of the baby in the womb, और भी बहुत सारी चीजें. So all of that is there, but it's not a scientific book. It's for the simple person or the uneducated as well as the educated person. It's for everyone, right? It's supposed to guide each and every person. There's no division between, there's no bias. So the hadith goes that the simple person will enter Jannah. And when we're talking about simplicity, that's I think what Imam Tahawi, that's what he's focusing. So वो जो quotation है ना उनका वो इस बात पे focus कर रहे हैं कि उसको आप रहने दें, don't get into all of that. It's very simple. But when we've discussed this in other philosophical debates, we've been exposed to all of that philosophy. We do need to go a little bit into it. So what did the Asharis say? They said that Allah is the creator of actions. We don't create our actions, we only choose them. So this is what Allah does, He's the creator. And what the human being does is that he chooses or does is iktisab, like I said in the last class. This is the Arabic word which is used. This is, you can call this the 3 root letters. Okay? Kasab means irada. And iktisab is coming from the bab ifti'al. If anybody knows sarf or nahab, the Arabic, syntax, morphology, I'm not really sure if you know. But for example, if you look at istighfar, I'm not going to test you on this, but just for extra information. The sin and the ta, it's telling you, क्योंकि इसकी जो root letters हैं वो ghain, fa and ra है. Ghafara. Ghafara means to forgive. Istighfar, the sin and the ta is to seek, when you're seeking something. So istighfar means you're seeking forgiveness. Okay? So the sin and the ta here, iktisab, is that you're seeking sort of choice. The seeking of choice. Right, you don't need to know that. But just to let you know why there are 2 words, right? Kasab means choice. Iktisab means that you're the chooser. You're choosing that action, acquisition. Okay, so again, Ji.
We
Question?
consider that actions are created by Allah. Then what about the evil actions men perform, and some also consider it as a good will. मतलब ये कहते हैं कि अल्लाह ने अगर क्रिएट किया तो फिर evil भी किसी किसी ने क्रिएट होगी. So
Sorry,
इसका
आप
क्या
थोड़ा
होगा?
सा दोबारा repeat करेंगे, please.
Ma'am, we consider that good actions are created by Allah, and what about the evil actions? Who created them?
What is created by Allah? Human actions तो मुझे समझ आ गई. उससे पहले आपने क्या कहा है?
Evil actions किसने create किए मैम? एक तो कहते हैं
Evil
evil
action.
actions.
Okay, okay.
Yes.
ठीक है. बहुत अच्छा सवाल है कि अगर Allah is the creator, ठीक है? This is in your reading. I'll let you know पहले से. So if anyone is interested, you can start reading that as well. इसमें ये बहुत बड़ी debate है. So if you go ahead, you have the reading. I have it on my desktop. Hold on. I don't know where it is in your package. I should let you know. Just hold on. Where is it? The existence of evil. The problem of evil, sorry. So इसमें आपको पूरा आंसर मिलेगा. I don't really want to touch it right now because it's a huge topic. ठीक है? So the problem of evil, can you guys see it online? इसका आपको PDF भी मिल सकता है, but it's also in your package. So how many people actually got the package, by the way? I think everybody
We haven't gone well. Somewhere we have to take it.
the new package. बहुत लंबी इसकी बहस है, ठीक है, कि अगर आप ये कहेंगे कि he is the creator, तो फिर evil actions का क्या? ठीक है? इसमें अगर मैं इसको in a nutshell answer करती हूँ, तो उसमें ये है that there are a lot of wisdoms, ठीक है, in the letting evil exist. ठीक है? In Allah's letting evil exist, there are a lot of wisdoms, and this is sort of the nature of the world. ठीक है? For example, you look at someone who has suffered and then you decide to help them. ठीक है? What does that say about the person who is helping? ठीक है? The idea is that the human being is meant to grow as a human being. We're supposed to grow spiritually, emotionally, empathize with others. ठीक है? तो ये empathy कैसे आएगी? Only when we have someone to help. If everything was perfect, then there's nobody we can help. So we don't usually think of it like that, but a lot of times that is exactly why things like that exist. So you might have a child who's suffering. It's not his fault. ठीक है? He's an innocent child, but sometimes a parent even is grateful for their other children. Like that, it's an immense sort of ripples of effects that take place when that happens. If you see someone, or you might see someone without the basic a blessing of sight. If somebody is blind, only then can you realize when somebody has sight. Like, what blessing is that? When you lose something, only then you realize what blessing you had, right? That is the nature of human beings as well. So of course, yani, creating this species, human being, the human being species itself was an entire plan of Allah. So if we can just look into that and see why he would choose to create human beings, okay, when he already had angels. आपने कभी सुना होगा कई लोग जो हैं, मतलब I don't know if I can't think of any exact कोई मैं आपको example दे सकूं, but a lot of people sort of talk about how life itself is beautiful. ये जो आपने सुना होगा ना, life is beautiful, ठीक है? And when a person is depressed, they can't see that. And if a person is telling that person who's depressed that life is beautiful, and they are looking at the beauty, but they're sort of baffled, why is this person not able to see it? ठीक है? Now, are we going to say that that beauty is subjective, or are we going to say that there is beauty, but that person is unable to see it? Why do you think all this professional help exists? Like something is wrong. Like there is a problem that they're trying to solve, isn't it? When a person goes to a therapist, let's suppose I took a few sessions, okay? So I'll give my own example because a lot of times my brother taught me this. So my brother said that whenever he heard, I'm sorry if I've already mentioned this in class before, I usually do once at least in every batch. Okay, he said that whenever I hear like an imam or somebody speaking about Islam, I always think that they're blaming me, right? So any example they give is like, oh my God, why are they blaming me? So I would prefer to give my own example. So when I went, let's suppose I took like around 10 sessions with a therapist, I felt that something was not right. There was a problem in what I was facing in life. Either I could not think of it in the correct manner or not function in the correct manner. So there was something wrong which I was trying to adjust, or something wrong which I was trying to fix, right? So if that is the case, then that means एक तो बात ये है कि yes, it can be fixed. इसीलिए efforts हैं सारी, ठीक है? And the second thing is that you have to see, I mean, वही बात है कि अगर आप ये बात कर रहे हैं ना कि ये subjective बातें हैं, so it would be best for us to actually be able to look at that perception, to be able to perceive the beauty within, everything that is wrong in the world. So, acha, so your question was the creation of evil, okay? So the idea the scholars give is that, can you guys see the the whiteboard or the PowerPoint?
Whiteboard.
So one thing is that he allows evil to exist. But he does not will it. He does not will it. अब इसमें थोड़ा सा वही बात है, confusion होगी. So I would want you to open your package, because जब मैं बात कर रही थी पहले will की, ठीक है, that if he wills this will happen. So वही बात होगी ना कि अगर if he doesn't will evil तो evil नहीं होना चाहिए. That means कि इजाजत थी, ठीक है. And then there's another way that the word will is used when it's said that he does not will it to occur. What does that mean? It means that he does not, it's not his It's not in his pleasure. It's not what he wants literally. Although you don't usually use this word for God, want, but it's not in his pleasure. He's not pleased with it. Even in the Quran, he says, if you will believe, if you will, do not believe. यानी he leaves it up to us. लेकिन आप लोगों ने कभी parents को सुना होगा ना कि वो कहें ठीक है जो मर्जी करना करो. इसका क्या मतलब होता है? It doesn't mean that you really can do whatever you want. They've already let you know that तुम्हें ये करना चाहिए और तुम नहीं सुन रहे. They're like do whatever you want. ठीक है? So again, what does that mean? कि एक चाहत है अल्लाह ताला की और एक वो चाहते हैं कि हम ना करें. ठीक है? But he allows that to happen even though he dislikes it. So that is the slight मतलब एक nuance आपने जो note करना है यहाँ पे, ठीक है? So if you open up your free will and predestination, reading number
39.
page number एक second, let me let you know. जो एक मातुरीदी doctrine है, the one that you were supposed to do उससे पहली वाली reading है. So yes, it is 39. Who said 39? आपने पढ़ा हुआ है? See, mashallah, you read this, and you read also the one I assigned. अच्छा वो वाला आपने पढ़ा है जो assign किया मैंने. Okay. So the acts of God's servants are created by Him. So this is the second paragraph on page 39 of the package and page 170 of your theme of Islamic civilization, the will of God. ठीक है? यानी ये एक मातुरीदी doctrinal statement से लिया गया है. This is right after the letter of Hassan al-Basri. 39 of the package. जी. उनको यानी create ही ऐसे किया ना that they can only do good. तो वही बात है कि that is why the human being was created. Okay, so वही बात है. देखें वो इसकी अगर आप ये कहें ना कि एंजल्स अल्लाह की इबादत कर रहे थे तो अल्लाह को जरूरत नहीं थी ह्यूमंस बनाने की, ठीक है? Now that is if we are saying that humans were created so because Allah wanted कि हम उनकी worship करें, in the sense that the reason for creation was because He wished to be worshipped, as if उनको फायदा हो रहा हो कोई worship करने से. But that is why the scholars clarify that it's not that He is getting anything out of it. It's because He wanted to be known, ठीक है? जो इसकी अंडरस्टैंडिंग है वो यही है कि अल्लाह चाहते थे कि वो जाने जाए या पहचाने जाए. एंड हाउ वुड दैट हैपन? इट्स ऑलमोस्ट लाइक इफ अ किड वांट्स टू मेक लेगो, ठीक है? अब उसने एक शिप बना ली. नाउ आई नो हाउ व्हाट अ गुड जॉब ही हैज डन, बट ही नाउ वांट्स टू मेक अ प्लेन. ठीक है? एक और क्रिएशन से वो और अपनी क्रिएटिविटी शो कर सकता है, राइट? सो जस्ट लाइक दैट एंजल्स में ऑलरेडी मतलब देयर इज that's an amazing creation in itself, but then human beings में एक और चीज थी जिसमें that's why Allah said in the Quran, he said that he told the angels से सवाल किया कि क्यों आपने बनाया ये तो खून खराबा करेंगे, they will do bloodshed, they will cause fitna on the earth, why did you create this species? And Allah said, you do not know what I know, you know not what I know. If I can remember the Arabic I can translate it better, but basically paraphrase कर रही हूँ उस आयत को कि you don't know what I know. So there was an idea of that there is something behind it, there's a huge reason behind it, ठीक है? And sometimes again, is Samiullah in class or not?
Yes.
You guys were having a discussion, right? So what you guys said, mashallah, actually yani in a nutshell, all together, put all together, आपने एक तो mention किया from the reading, you pointed out the right things, ठीक है? जो कि question पैदा होता है. Even for myself, I think I would say that अगर आप सिर्फ तहाविया पढ़ा रहे हैं, अकीदा तहाविया, that doesn't really, because that's just one book and it's explained in one way. And then if you study Ash'aris and Maturidis, you're blown away. So in your reading pack, you actually have the Ash'ari and the Maturidi answer, ठीक है? And those are, I think, more mind-blowing for people like us. The Tahawis are again, the Tahawiyya, the Aqidah Tahawiyya is more like ऐसे है तो ऐसे ही हो. So that's why the quotation that you actually pointed out was exactly from Imam Tahawi, and that sort of, when you know where it's coming from, it makes more sense. So your answers together were exactly correct, right? कि आप जो बात कर रहे थे कि आप यानी question करें और answer करें, and even at the time of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, even the companions asked the Prophet these questions. So there is a hadith in which one of them जब ये आई एक हदीस आई के if you say la ilaha illallah dakhal al jannah you will enter jannah, ठीक है. So then they were like, well, that means we don't really need to do anything. We don't need to do any good deeds. I will just say la ilaha illallah and that's it, I'll just go into jannah. What is the problem with that? The problem is you're leaving the 5 pillars. I mean, आप ईमान तो ले आए हैं ना और आपने जन्नत चले जाना है, बस खत्म होगी कहानी. तो प्रॉब्लम क्या लगी थी सहाबा को? They asked the prophet that Ya Allah, Ya Rasulullah, what about actions then? What about, good deeds? The Prophet ﷺ replied that unko pakad lo. If you translate that in Urdu, uska effect zyada acha aata hai. Like khud, right? Unko pakad lo. Like don't let go of them. So don't think that because you know this fact, just because you say la ilaha illallah, you're going to Jannah, don't leave actions. Unko pakad le, unko keep doing them basically, because they are essentially, that's why the scholars say they are magnets of Allah's mercy. Our actions, when we choose our actions and do them, they become magnets of Allah's mercy. Okay? So it's not exactly that our actions are going to get into Jannah, but it's that it sort of attracts Allah's mercy. And these fine nuances in the way we explain things actually matter a lot. Okay, let's suppose if a person is really righteous, someone who's doing all these good deeds and they're praying and fasting, even helping others, everything. What if, let me just complete this sentence, कि अगर वो ये सोचें कि इन अमाल की वजह से मैं जन्नत जा रही हूँ, ठीक है? How can that be problematic? How may that be, not always, but may be problematic? Yeah, मतलब वो pride आ सकती है ना, और या फिर contentment, like too much contentment in the sense that you're like safe now, I'm good, मैं सारा कर रही हूँ बस ठीक है, I'm going to Jannah. There are a lot of hadiths in which the Prophet told Aisha radiallahu anha that don't say for sure that this person has gone to Jannah or to Jahannam, either way. Because it's of the unseen. You're not supposed to judge anyone. You have to leave it to Allah. Because when you do that again, shaitan also got into the pride thing, right? That I am better than so and so. And then that is a huge, by the way, that's why I wanted to do also this the 4 virtues that Imam Ghazali talks about. I hope we have time for that. We will, inshallah. So your question, yes? ठीक है. उनका भी जज़ा है, yes, उनका भी जज़ा सज़ा है, and why they were both created is a good question. Again, that's something which I don't have an answer for. But again, it could be the fact that, yani, again, they're different creations, और उनको भी इसी same, yani, Quran is sent for the jinn as well, right? So that is, अब क्या, yani, इसकी, honestly, I don't have an answer. Maybe some scholar has given an answer somewhere, ठीक है? कि दोनों को क्यों पैदा किया? But if I just answer, the human being aspect, कि humans को क्यों किया, वो फिर भी कर सकते हो. So that's what the scholars have done more, I think, abundantly, I would say. जी. Yeah, so don't you remember the self-healing society? So he just didn't give one up. यानी एक आयत तो ये आंसर सब लोग दे देते हैं, ठीक है, कि अल्लाह की इबादत करने के लिए. But then you also have to define abd. What does it mean when we say that we are the abd of Allah, the royal slave? इसमें बहुत ही ज़्यादा आपको ना डेप्थ में जाना पड़ेगा, because it's not just नमाज रोज़ा, ठीक है? It just means that your whole identity changes, that you know that you are the creation of Allah, what your relationship is with Him, you're Allah. ठीक है? अब मैं आपको थोड़ा सा, actually, if you want, I can jump to that, because that is a really interesting thing I wanted to do. लेकिन दूसरी जो 2 चीजें थी उस talk में, वो थी that he said that we are Khalifas on earth, which means what? Caretakers, basically. तो वो उस talk में self-healing society में वो तीनों purposes जो दिए गए हैं उसमें वो answer आता है, that yes, we're meant to sort of take care of others. और ये हदीसों में मतलब बहुत ज़्यादा है. There's an abundance of ahadith on, for example, taking care of the miskin. एक हदीस है कि जिसमें आप, if you take care of the miskin and the widows and the people who are help needy, I'll find that for you exactly, because my words क्या है. That is better than standing up in night in Raat ki worship, in Tahajjud, right?
इसके लिए एक शेर भी है मौलाना हालिद का कि दर्द दिल के वास्ते कदर किया इंसान को
Hmm.
के लिए कुछ करना चाहिए.
So Jazakallah. So we have a poet in class. I mean, someone, mashallah, who can share poetry with us. And that is really amazing, right? यानी ये जो दर्द दिल का concept है, sometimes you can't really, I think, express it in English as well. जो उर्दू में दर्द दिल का concept है, right? It means feeling for others in that way. जी,
इंसान बुरा करता है तो उसमें शैतान को भी इंसान को भी पूरी इंसान को
दोनों. Okay, I'll need to. Mashallah, you guys are jumping the gun, which I'm enjoying personally, but I hope as a course it doesn't, because usually ऐसा होता नहीं है. Although I want people to question, but वो नहीं कर रहे होते. So there are two things. One is the nafs, and there's another one, shaitan. So those of you who are online, the question was that when we sin, is it our fault or the shaitan's? There are two enemies. When we talk about knowing your enemy, there is one, our own nafs, and the second is shaitan. So again, shaitan का जो power है ना वो ये है कि वो सिर्फ whisper करेगा, right? And in the Quran also Allah says that He will not have any power over those who remember me. So the essential weapon that we have against shaitan is dhikr or remembrance of Allah. कि उस वक्त अगर अल्लाह को याद करें and to remember, and some of the scholars explain this way just to make us sort of aware of it and remember it. We cannot see shaitan, and the idea behind that is that to know that we can't really fight an enemy that we can't see. Okay, so we have to leave that to Allah as well. So remember Allah when you are sort of facing the whispers of shaitan. There are a lot of du'as, okay, that you can or recite the Quran, or there are a lot of du'as against the whisperings of shaitan. He's not responsible, but he is there. He is a cause basically. ठीक है, अब आपने उस whisper से बचना है, वो आपके जहन में डालेगा, but it really depends on yourself basically. ठीक है, it's almost like having a friend. ठीक है, एक friend है जो आपको सारी अच्छी चीजों की तरफ लेके जा रहा है, और एक और है जो आपको एक ऐसी चीज की तरफ लेके जा रहा है which you don't want to do, but he's gonna take you, he's gonna come and say चलो यार चलते हैं. ठीक है, so are you gonna put your foot down and say कि no, this is not something I'm not going to do, या ये कि आप थोड़ा warm up हो जाते हैं चले जाते हैं. So that's again, I mean, the choice is yours at the end of the day. But
Ma'am, we say that Shaitan is behind every evil. So, what was behind Shaitan's evil? What he did? He
okay, so let
forbid
me
to.
tell you the story of Shaitan. I think I'll have to do that. Although you guys telling khair, I can't blame you guys because हमारा जो Islamic studies का होता है वो, I mean, क्या होता है? Even when I think back even to O levels. Okay, so the idea is again, like Shaitan, what happened was that he was worshipping Allah, okay, and he got the rank of angels, which is again something that we need to learn from. कि अगर इंसान कोई बहुत अच्छा भी आपको नजर आ रहा है और बहुत अल्लाह के करीब and everything, that person himself or herself, and you guys also, like us people who are looking at that person, we can't give them this status and say कि बस अब ये जो हैं बस कुछ बन गए हैं, or put them on a pedestal or something like that. ठीक है, उसकी वजह क्या है? Because you don't know, the hearts change, etc. The idea is again that Allah is in power, और आपने ये नहीं भूलना कि Allah is in power. What did Shaitan do? He forgot that. He cared more about the fact that this human being which has been made is not as good as me. I'm made from fire. He said, I'm made from fire. He's made from clay, sand, and fire is better than clay or sand. छोटी सी बात पकड़ ली और उसने कहा कि I'm better. ठीक है? So he did not listen to Allah, or he didn't obey Allah. He forgot that Allah is in power, and he cared more about what he was feeling at that moment, that I am better than this human. और मैं तो नहीं बात सुन रहा. ठीक है? अच्छा, जब ये उसने किया, that he disobeyed Allah, ठीक है, अल्लाह ने कहा कि तुम इसको सजदा करो, and he disobeyed Allah. After that, he could have done what? He could have asked for forgiveness. ठीक है, वो पूछ सकता था अल्लाह से कि चले ठीक है, I was feeling like this, but I'm sorry. Essentially, इंसान का भी यही किरदार है, ठीक है, that when a person sins, all we have to do is turn back to Allah. So Shaitan, instead of asking for forgiveness, he asked for muhlat. Muhlat means what? Some time span. He asked Allah to grant him this time span before punishing him. And why did he ask for that? Because he wanted to get revenge. उसने कहा कि मुझे आप टाइम स्पेन दें और इस दुनिया में मैं क्या करूंगा, मैं अपने मिनियंस छोड़ूंगा and I'm gonna show Allah that this human being was not worth it. I was right. तो उसने दुश्मनी कर ली, ठीक है. So it's almost like those Godfather movies के वो generation after generation वो दुश्मनी चल रही है, ठीक है. So the idea is again, देखिए जब आपके पास एक दुश्मन है, sometimes you're gonna win, sometimes they're gonna win. So you can't say 100% के evil जो है वो शैतान ही है, ये नहीं आप कह सकते, ठीक है ना. But that is one of the big attributes. I mean big, sorry, क्या कहना चाहिए, one of the things that are causing that, one of the main, not main, but some of the causes, right? Yeah, he was the jinn made of fire, ठीक है, and he was only given the rank of the angels. ठीक है. Okay, where was I? Let's go back to this. The golden
Ma'am?
mean of, can you see this? Ji. Okay, can I, Ji, this question, you can just ask your question and then let me go ahead to the golden mean if you can see it.
Ma'am, if
Ji.
everything is predestined, what is the point of making dua?
नहीं, यही बात है ना कि हर चीज predestined नहीं है. There are some things which are left open, and I gave you this example before. It's like a map. कि आप A choose करेंगे तो B C हो जाएगा, C choose करेंगे तो you'll have D E F, and then you choose E from that, you're gonna have Q R S options. It's sort of like a map. ठीक है, that is the understanding. अच्छा जी, अब golden
Ma'am.
mean अगर आप देखें जी.
Ma'am, if we do hard work, तब भी दुआ की तो like sense नहीं बनती. I'm just asking, यानी हाँ
There
वो
is
आपका
so
perspective change होता है दुआ से.
दुआ जो है ना बहुत खूबसूरत चीज है. इट्स नंबर वन. देखिए अब हम बात करेंगे, ये जो गोल्डन मीन की बात करें, इसमें विजडम एक वर्च्यू बताया था इमाम गजाली ने, ठीक है. एंड सो वन ऑफ द थिंग्स इज दैट आवर रिलेशनशिप विद अल्लाह, वन ऑफ द थिंग्स, the purposes of this world is actually for the sake of humans again. And it's something, when you get that, you realize that it's a gift from Allah. Your relationship with Allah is strengthened by your du'as. It doesn't matter if they're accepted or not. यानी इसमें ये तीन चीजें आती हैं ना कि दुआ जो है वो तीन तरह से accept होती है. एक ये है that either you get what you asked for, or you were saved from something which could have harmed you, or the third thing is that you will get it in Jannah in such a way that when you see that कि अच्छा मुझे उस दुआ का ये अजर अभी मिला है जन्नत में, you'll want none of your du'as to have been accepted. So you'll say, I wish none of my du'as which were accepted in this dunya had been accepted, which is sort of showing us कि हम वो realize नहीं कर सकते, right? So when we're asking Allah, and even if you don't get it at once, that is a relationship with Allah that we have. ठीक है? And it definitely gets you something or the other. अगर वो चीज नहीं मिल रही जो आप पूछ रहे हैं, मांग रहे हैं, तो आपको उससे या तो बेहतर मिल जाएगा, या I mean you're gonna see that in your life. ठीक है? So that again, that is something that you experience. And when we come to Al-Ghazali's True Nature of Prophecy, जो इसके बाद है, Human Origins के बाद, so we'll talk about that as well, inshallah. Okay, so the golden mean that Al-Ghazali talked about okay, so wisdom, courage, temperance and justice. अब ये भी बहुत detail में, I'll need a whiteboard for that. Okay, so what did he say? He said, so there are some things in us that are maybe, and by the way, he even said that there are 3 ways that you can get these virtues. और वो I think 7 habits से थोड़ा सा मिलता जुलता है. So one thing is that he says that you need to make it a habit. यानी it's something you need to keep doing over and over again until it becomes habit. And you need to learn about it. So knowledge. That's what Stephen Covey said, right? Habit. Does anyone remember the Venn diagram? One of you guys had read it. I don't know if you're here today. So the Venn diagram which said that you need, how do you change your habit? Okay, you need knowledge about it. So you need to know, you need the skills, you need to learn the skills and practice them. And then you need to have the desire. If you don't have the desire, you're never going to get that change done. Okay. So he said habit, learning, and also divine grace. So he also, of course, accepted that it could be just a gift from Allah. So some people are just born more patient, some are more generous by nature. Okay? So that could be divine grace as well. But everything can be learned. So he says that courage जो है ना वो एक आप कह रहे हैं एक स्पेक्ट्रम है जो रेज होता है ये बहुत ज्यादा जो गुस्सा है ठीक है irascibility. Everybody knows it's bad. So this is where that second question is coming up that was discussed on WhatsApp. ठीक है अच्छा रेज और गुस्सा जो बहुत ज्यादा नेगेटिव है मतलब एक्सट्रीम है ना वो everybody knows it's bad. But if a person does not have that at all, that feeling of anger at all, मतलब so you said that एक human at emotion है ठीक है human emotion है anger. When do you feel angry? कब होता है जब हमें गुस्सा आता है? Like what happens when we feel angry? Sorry? When we are wronged. Exactly. जब हमारा कुछ नुकसान होता है when we are wrong, ठीक है कोई चीज गलत होती है कोई जुल्म like in a tiny maybe a tiny fraction of जुल्म कह सकते हैं आप जुल्म means what when something is put in a wrong place कुछ गलत होता है ठीक है when we are wronged. अच्छा तो इसका बिल्कुल ऑपोजिट जो कि आप कह लें कि जब किसी को ये फील ही ना हो कि आपका कोई हक किसी ने मारा है it's almost like cowardice. So he says at the low spectrum of this ठीक है यहाँ पे anger लिख देते हैं. So at the low spectrum of like zero anger would mean that you are a coward. You are not getting up to fight for your rights. ठीक है आपके मतलब आपको मैच बनाया हुआ किसी ने and you don't care. ठीक है मतलब बिल्कुल zero. This is but the idea is of course मतलब rage, irascibility or even anger itself is negative. तो आपको हदीसें बहुत मिलेंगी ठीक है कुरान में भी है that those who swallow their anger will get Jannah. यानी आपको आ गया है फीलिंग आ गई उसे की but you swallow it ठीक है अच्छा now about the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam like you said this is how exactly how आपने किया था right explain that this is exactly how in the hadith it's described that he never acted on that anger and also he never got angry for himself. This was the main point. यानी कभी ऐसा नहीं हुआ कि उनको गुस्सा आया हो क्योंकि उनका हक मारा जा रहा है. He only got angry for the deen, for Allah, which is very interesting and very weird for us, I think. So, for example, मतलब एक कोई देहाती आता है, ठीक है? Bedouin comes and he started pulling at the shawl of the Prophet. So the Bedouins are people who are sort of आप कह लें unsophisticated, ठीक है? उनका Bedouin जो lifestyle है, it's very different, ठीक है? So they started pulling at the shawl because he said that he owed him something. And जो companions है ना, they got upset, ठीक है? कि ये क्यों ऐसे कर रहा है Prophet के साथ? And the Prophet actually told them कि नहीं इसको तुम फलां चीज यानी get कहीं से लेकर आओ और उसको दे दो अभी because उसका हक है, ठीक है? So he didn't get angry at the person and he never got angry for himself. So उनको तो जितने भी साल जितना भी उनको जितना भी उन पर जुल्म हुआ उस पर गुस्सा नहीं आता था but he only felt that displeasure you can say, ठीक है? Anger में भी वो होता था, you can call it more a displeasure. और वही बात है कि वो author पे depend करता है उसने कैसे लिखा है. He didn't even explain it and he just said angered, right? But it meant his displeasure. So he was displeased, which showed on his face when somebody did something against Allah, didn't realize it. और ये भी हमारे लिए आजकल बहुत मुश्किल है because we don't really view Allah as Allah, right? It's very unfortunate that we don't really know Allah as he deserves to be known, right? So yes, I mean that is very hard for us. I feel that to sort of really get that at this point. उसमें भी दोबारा क्या sorry? जी जी उसमें भी यही आ रहा है that displeasure था यानी उनके चेहरे पर ये displeasure था that why is he But like you said, the asal answer iska jo aapka question ka answer hai wo yahi hai that you can't assume that the prophets never felt that. ठीक है, they were humans and they showed us how to deal with it. तो जो उनके चेहरे पर वो displeasure आया था वो इसलिए आया था that right now I'm doing something that is much more important. ठीक है, and ये सहाबी हैं जो कि मतलब इस्लाम कबूल कर भी लिया है, जो इन्होंने पूछना है मैं इनको किसी वक्त भी जवाब दे सकता हूँ. I can give him that answer anytime. And इस वक्त मुश्किल से ये लोग सुनना शुरू हुए हैं मेरी बात, leaders of the Quraysh, right? And then he is coming and making that a problem. तो वो जो चेहरे पे उनके आया था वो भी इसलिए आया था because he couldn't see, he was a blind sahabi. ये पता ना कि आपके जहन में हो कि अच्छा वो उसको ये नजर आ जाएगा अगर थोड़ा सा मेरे चेहरे पे डिस्प्लेजर तो वो हर्ट हो जाएगा, ये भी पॉइंट नहीं था हालांकि. But Allah didn't want him to do that. Not even do. Sorry क्या? अच्छा अच्छा, आप ये कह रहे हैं कि वो जो पहला जो आयत है वो तो ये जो आप बात कर रहे हैं ये एक्चुअली this is about the commentary of the Quran. Then the Quranic इसमें यानी when we do law तो उसमें आप ये देखेंगे कि how do we know that that was about the prophet. ये usually companions ने ही narrate किया होता है that the companions of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam because they used to ask questions and the Prophet told them कि ये आयत जो है वो इसलिए नाजिल हुई है, right? तो उसका context क्या है? So there is no sort of difference of opinion about that. At least I don't know. अगर आपने कहीं पढ़ा हो तो बताएं. But majority यानी this is the only explanation that they have of it. Acha. So one thing was courage. और अगर ये सही, so basically the golden mean is what? The middle way, which is the perfect balance. ठीक है, ना आप इस तरफ हो ना आप इस तरफ हो. तो इसमें it's not anger actually. यानी अगर ये balanced हो, it doesn't mean that you have anger. It means you have courage. जो इसका balance है, ठीक है? Because we all know getting angry is not okay. Acting on your anger is not okay. So courage आती है, fortitude आती है. So if you understand this aspect well, you have nobility, even gentleness, by the way. So again, that shows कि ये it's more towards this side. But इसका balance का मतलब यही हुआ है कि this is unlawful anger. ये जो इसका एक extreme है, ठीक है? अच्छा, gentleness है and waqar. Does anyone know what waqar is? It means sort of self-honor. You can say correct evaluation of self. Or honor. If somebody has their mic on. अगर आप thank you. अच्छा, फिर दूसरा he talked about temperance. ठीक है, also known as iffa. And इससे क्या आता है? He talked about modesty. Interestingly, liberality. बहुत मजे की ये बात मुझे लगती है. So being liberal but not in the sense of जो हम secular liberalism की बात करते हैं, वो नहीं है. So liberalism would here mean सखावा कह सकते हैं. सखावत जो उर्दू में वर्ड आता है. सखावा. अच्छा, let me give you the extremes of it. The extreme of it would be being prodigal, and this would be miserly. So again, he explains this in a lot of detail. To be miserly is harder to cure. Okay? If you're mean or miserly, it's harder to cure. So he says it's actually better if you go towards prodigal because that's easier to cure. Prodigal means what? That you're spending israf करना, for example, बहुत ज़्यादा spend कर रहे हैं, etc. ठीक है? तो इसका balance क्या होता है? कनाअत. It's sort of contentment. अगर आप imagine करें ना, अगर आप इसके नीचे जा रहे हैं, आप wealth की भी बात कर सकते हैं. It can even be, when we're fasting, we're sort of जो lawful हमारा food है, we're staying away from it, right? What does that teach us? It teaches us to control our nafs. ठीक है, जो शुरू में आपने क्वेश्चन किया था ना कि व्हाट आर द टू एनिमीज, उनमें से एक हमारा एनिमी नफ्स है, आवर ओन नफ्स, ठीक है। तो शैतान के अलावा क्या था, हमारा नफ्स। सो हाउ डू वी फाइट आवर नफ्स? वी एक्चुअली डिसिप्लिन इट, दैट्स द आइडिया। Discipline our soul or our nafs, because again थोड़ी बारीक डिफरेंसेस हैं कि रूह वर्ड यूज होता है सोल के लिए कुरान में, ठीक है, और नफ्स यूज होता है फॉर द नफ्स, ठीक है। सो स्लाइटली डिफरेंट, बट
We call it jihad akbar, maybe fighting with the nafs.
yes, exactly. So it's known as jihad akbar, अपने नफ्स से लड़ना, ठीक है। And nafs mutmainna is also mentioned in the Quran as the content soul, ठीक है, that which will go into Jannah is the content soul, nafs mutmainna. Acha, so then he talks about wisdom, and wisdom he explains is knowledge. Ye tha ek, courage, two is temperance, and I don't have space for it, let me. Third virtue is wisdom. अच्छा, ये इंटेलेक्ट के जो पहली दो थी ना, वो सॉर्ट ऑफ आप कह लें एक एनिमलिस्टिक जो एट्रीब्यूट है ना इंसान का, उसको बैलेंस करना, ठीक है, और इसमें इंटेलेक्ट को बैलेंस करने की बात है। सो ही सेज कि इसका एक एक्सट्रीम है बीइंग कनिंग, ठीक है, और ट्रिकरी, और दूसरा क्या है, स्टुपिडिटी। तो एक्सट्रीम्स जो हैं बिल्कुल दो, ठीक है। इसके बीच में क्या आ जाता है, इंटेलेक्चुअल honesty, discretion, correctness of opinion, awareness of the subtle actions of the soul, and he also mentions knowledge of God, basically. Yes, and he says knowledge of God is important, but even more than that is love of God. So the knowledge of God leads to the love of God, which is the greatest wisdom, he says. Okay? अच्छा, fourth virtue is justice, and justice का वो कहता है कि high low है ही नहीं, इसका बस एक opposite है, which is injustice. यानी either you're just or unjust, and you can attain the balance of justice. You can be a just person if you keep your rational self over your appetite and anger. तो इफ़ा वो कह रहा था appetite को normal रखने से आता है, and anger courage आती है anger को balance रखने में. So appetite and anger के ऊपर अगर rationality आपकी आ जाए. So you know how they say the frontal lobe, I think, sort of, or the cortex. What is the part of the brain which is behind the forehead is the cortex, the frontal lobe. That is for your cognitive rational thinking, ठीक है? और that is usually, that's supposed to be higher, ठीक है, than any other emotion, appetite and anger. But again, that is, यानी सजदे में हम क्या करते हैं, उसी को सजदे में we bring it to the ground, because we're saying even above that is revelation. यानी above that is Allah, ठीक है, who created that. Okay. So Ghazali accepts the philosophical virtues in general, and he accepts the psychological basis of virtue. And when we do the psychology bit, we will sort of relate this to what we're doing at that point, inshallah. We have 10 minutes left, and I have a little bit of this left. So if you can now look at this again. Let's go back to this. And say not of anything, I shall do it tomorrow, unless Allah wills. ठीक है? So remember, inshallah, except Allah wills, जो कि usually पाकिस्तान में किस तरह यूज होता है, जब हमने कुछ नहीं करना होता तब कहते हैं हम शायद, well I hope not, but so it's supposed to be said whenever we make a plan, right? We're saying that this is my plan, but inshallah, if Allah wills, it will come to pass. Okay? So you're remembering that it is only by the ijazat of Allah. So what was the problem with determinism? Determinism, there is no sense in reward and punishment. If everything is predetermined, so फिर reward and punishment कहाँ से आएगी? This was your question as well, ठीक है? And there's a hadith that the Prophet ﷺ said that he who has not thanked the people has not thanked Allah, right? لا يشكر الله من لا يشكر الناس. कि जिसने लोगों का ही नहीं शुक्र किया, उसने अल्लाह का भी शुक्र नहीं किया, ठीक है? What does that mean? एक तो relationship है ना, that if you want to thank Allah, you have to thank people. It means कि इंसानों का कोई will है ना, like you helped me out, you have your free will, you made that choice, and I should be thankful to you, ठीक है? But you also remember that Allah caused that. तो Allah से भी आपने grateful होना है, ठीक है? It's a part of being grateful to Allah. जी, जी,
ये आप प्रीवियस टाइम में शो किया था कि इंशाल्लाह का दिखा दो
ये वाला, जी.
इंशाल्लाह के फॉरेस्ट के तो ये क्यों ऐसे किया गया इंशाल्लाह
बिकॉज अगेन वही बात है ना कि आपने तो प्लान कर लिया ना ये चीज, ठीक है? अब आप ये अपने आप को याद दिला रहे हैं दैट आई कैन मेक द प्लान्स ऑफ माय एंटायर लाइफ, ठीक है? ऑफ एवरी सेकंड आई कैन प्लान माय लाइफ, बट ओनली व्हाट अल्लाह विल्स विल हैपन. यानी पावर को हम याद करें कि अल्लाह ताला की इजाजत होगी तो कुछ होगा, ठीक है? That doesn't mean कि आप प्लान करना ही छोड़ दें, and that's also sort of यानी हिट एंड ट्रायल भी इंसान अगर कर ले, like somebody said कि भाई अगर एफर्ट कर रहे हैं और दुआ नहीं भी करे तो वो तो हो जाता है, मिल जाता है, हमें दुआ की क्या जरूरत है, right? And then another person will tell you कि मैंने तो एफर्ट ही नहीं की, मैंने सिर्फ दुआ की थी तो मुझे मिल गया. Now what do you say? So either of them, it's basically two extremes. देखिए बैलेंस हमेशा खूबसूरत होता है. Like why do we say Islam is the middle path? Even if we're not talking about religion, people are going to tell you extremes are not okay. The middle way is the right way, right? तो अगर आप किसी भी एक्सट्रीम पे चले जाते हैं ना, it's not good. And that's exactly what the scholars tell you every time कि आपने दुआ करनी है या आपने मतलब you believe that Allah will protect something, but you have to lock it, you have to take care of it, you have to do effort to get what you want and then pray to Allah. So it's like a balance. If you don't say inshallah, it means that you're thinking everything is in my hands. उसी से इंसान पे टूटता है ना. टाइटैनिक जब किसी ने बनाई थी उसने कहा this is not gonna sink, वो पहली दफा में सिंक हो गई. I mean that is reminding us. मतलब अब लोगों के different, like that's your choice, right? How are you going to look at things? You look at natural disasters and you sort of start joking about Mother Nature and how it's so, you know, it's not, you can't, etc. I mean, people say different things, right? But if you look at the beauty of how, if you can you imagine कि देखिए इंसान, okay, I'll give you an example. जब आप जाते हैं ना जापान, it's like a tiny island, ठीक है? They have hurricanes और ये जो typhoons हैं इनमें जो फर्क होता है वो ये होता है कि basically, and there's another word as well. Third one is tornado. So typhoons are the ones that come from the ocean. They're the same thing essentially, but they're coming from the ocean, ठीक है? इतने ज़्यादा, I mean इतना छोटा सा island है, and if they don't prepare for it, it can take away everything, and it even now it does. लेकिन वो buffer करते हैं अपनी buildings को and whatnot, and even the trees are sort of pulled down, they're sort of held down by, you know, these sticks from three sides. यानी उन्होंने उस अपने even trees को भी जो है ना support दी हुई है so that the typhoons don't blow them away. तो अब आप क्या कहेंगे कि अब यहाँ पे मतलब अल्लाह का शुक्र है यहाँ नहीं आते इतने earthquakes, but they could. Essentially होना ये चाहिए कि सारी buildings में ये चीज हो. So of course you should do that. I mean जो एक चीज टेक्नोलॉजी ने हमें सिखा दी है, and जब अल्लाह ने हमें एक brain दिया है that you can use that brain to do certain things, then you should take those precautions. But at the end of the day, when something wrong happens, what are you going to do? You're either going to go mad कि हमने इतना कुछ किया, इतना precise है, but it didn't happen, or you're going to accept it. ये जो acceptance एक चीज है ना इंसान में, वो बहुत अजीब चीज है, बहुत खूबसूरत चीज है, because that is the only thing that lets you survive. Essentially, इसीलिए sadly for some people start talking just about survival, like purpose of life is just about survival. It's quite depressing, हाँ जी, to be honest. जी नहीं, I mean देखिए इंशाल्लाह का जिक्र तो ये general है बिल्कुल, ठीक है? But if you're talking about वो जो सूरह कहफ में था तो उसमें तो different तीन वो है ना topics, but this is general, this is not just related to that. अच्छा, तो generally यानी इंसान को ये कहना चाहिए. Okay, so what are the problems with the deterministic approach? This was where we were. Acha, this one. It's ascribing partnership to God if there are creators other than God. Acha, एक तो ये problem होती है कि basically if human beings are creators of their actions, so creation की problem, ठीक है, that Allah is the creator of all actions. If someone benefits us, we consider them to be our benefactors in totality. It is they who are so kind, generous, and have willed to act in a certain way. And we forget that it is Allah who, you know, caused that. ठीक है? यानी जब आप ये realize करते हैं Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is al-qadir or he is the most powerful. Everything that happens in your life has a reason behind it and it is planned by Allah. ठीक है, तो ये पावर जब तक आप अल्लाह ताला को नहीं देंगे, इसीलिए वो जो एक पॉइंट था ना कि अगर आप तकदीर में नहीं बिलीव कर रहे तो दैट इज अ प्रॉब्लम, ठीक है. बट अगर आप फ्री विल में नहीं कर रहे तब भी प्रॉब्लम है. सो यू बेसिकली गोना बैलेंस दीज टू. While we must be thankful to the person, the idea is that we do not forget it is God who is the capital D doer. Okay, so what are the verses on human freedom and responsibility? तो पहले verses मैंने किए हैं. Let me just complete this. पर आप don't forget. चले आप पूछते हैं. हाँ जी, पहले पूछना है because it can be either. देखिए कुरान में क्योंकि दोनों expressed है, ठीक है. Either of them could be a reason. It depends on the personality of a person as well. लेकिन हमेशा ये कहा गया है कि love is better than fear. It's better to do something out of love for Allah than fear for Him. यानी ये actually कहा गया है. Scholars have said it and different Sufis have said it, and even एक Rabia Basriya, a famous woman Sufia, also said that. So, and she was very adamant about it also. अच्छा, whatever misfortune happens to you, अच्छा नहीं, ये first वाली थी Surah Rum की corruption has spread on land and sea on account of what people's hands have wrought. Second is whatever misfortune happens to you is because on the things your hands have wrought, and for many of them he grants forgiveness. If any do deeds of righteousness, be they male or female, and have faith, they will enter heaven, and not the least injustice will be done to them. It is the truth from your Lord. Wherefore, let him who will believe and let him who will disbelieve. O our people, respond to God's summoner. Summoner means the person who's calling, right? Yani the prophets, and believe in him. So these ayahs are focusing on human freedom and responsibility. ठीक है, मतलब अगर आप freedom या free will में नहीं believe कर रहे तो फिर तो कोई तुक ही नहीं है. Like there is no point of the Quran, no point of sending the prophets. ठीक है, there is no point in anything then. And essentially in the Maturidi Akida, ठीक है, the way they have explained it is that they say that the denial of the consciousness of the freedom of free will, the freedom of इंसान जो है, ठीक है, हमारी consciousness बताती है कि we have that freedom. मतलब I know that I'm picking this up myself, मैं forced नहीं हूँ. I know कि आज मैं choose कर सकती हूँ कि मैं कहाँ जाऊँगी, किस वक्त जाऊँगी. ये जो consciousness है ना, that I have that freedom, this is a reality, and if you deny it, it is virtually the denial of all human knowledge and sciences. ठीक है, if you deny consciousness of freedom, you're denying all human knowledge and sciences. So this was a very logical answer that the Maturidis gave. ठीक है. In Islam, there is no contradiction between belief in divine preordainment on the one hand and freedom of humans on the other, because Allah's will and plan are universal in scope, within which there is provision for a free and active role for humans, enabling them to consciously fashion their own destiny. There are a lot of different answers actually for this, right? So one is that Allah's will and plan is universal. So universally what is happening globally, ठीक है, that is planned. उसके अंदर जो एक human being action यानी choose कर रहा है और कर रहा है, so that is like a limited freedom that he has. You can't say कि 100% freedom है, because you do have limitations, ठीक है, but within that limitation you have the choice to make a choice. You have a choice to choose an action. We have shown the path to humans, and they are free to choose the right path and be thankful, or to choose the path of ingratitude. Surah Al-Insan. So the wisdom in this is again predestination at a universal level. Things are predestined and unfold in a wise manner. At an individual level, things are predestined, such as where a person is born, which religion his parents ascribe to, his physical features, certain attributes and characteristics, but he is free to make moral choices. Free will, within this framework, he will be accountable for the choices he makes and the actions he commits. And predestination also results in tranquility, as a person accepts the tragedies in life as meant to be. Okay, so with that, we're going to end this difficult topic, right? One of the most difficult topics. और ये है कि इसमें I think I was about to narrate that hadith, which I didn't. that the companions also, नहीं एक तो मैंने हदीस mention कर दी ना about action के action पकड़ने. There was another hadith that is similar. I've noted it down. एक और hadith, the Prophet ﷺ said that act for everyone is facilitated in what he intends to do. यानी आप अमल करो, action लो, क्योंकि जब आप intention करते हैं तो आपको उसमें facilitation मिलती है, ठीक है? And this comes even in the 30th part, the short surahs. There are certain such verses कि जिसमें ये है कि जो इंसान अच्छे को अच्छा जानता है उसके लिए अच्छा रास्ता आसान कर दिया जाता है, और जो इंसान अच्छे को बुरा जानता है उसके लिए मुश्किल रास्ता, जो गलत रास्ता है वो आसान कर दिया जाता है. मीनिंग दैट जस्ट टू sort of what is good, just to appreciate it as being good. यानी आप कहते हैं ना कि छोटी सी चीज भी है उसका आपको सवाब मिलता है, that you smile at your family. Can you imagine? और इंटरेस्टिंगली ऐसी भी हदीसेस हैं that you're helping a miskeen, or you're helping someone who's in trouble, or you're going for jihad, etc., etc. बहुत सारी list है. And then at the end, you helping your family. Like even, for example, because the men are supposed to, they're responsible for the family. यानी उनकी responsibility है, ठीक है? अब आप कहेंगे ये तो बस एक responsibility है, बोझ है, मेरा burden है. But no, in that hadith at the end it says that if you spend on your family, it's the best sadaqah for you. Not only is it a sadaqah, यानी आपको सवाब उस पर मिल रहा है, नहीं, it's the best form of sadaqah. So I mean, imagine, like, you have to do it, but then when you do it, you get so much. ठीक है? Acha, another hadith that I wanted to quote here was that yes, there was a time in which, you know, some of the companions were sitting together and they were discussing again predestination. ठीक है? तो वो आपस में ही डिस्कस कर रहे थे और वो थोड़ी सी बहस मुबाहसा शुरू हो गया. So there were like difference of opinion, and at that point also they were discussing this. So the Prophet ﷺ, he told them not to do this because he said the previous nations, जो पुराने जो nations है वो हलाक हो गए थे because they spent too much time in this. So again, the idea is not to start, you know, discussing it in a way that you start fighting over it. This was the point. क्योंकि वही बात है कि जब आप एक extreme पे ले जाएं इस discussion को, which is already in its nature, it's very hard to get, right? यानी our understanding that Allah already knows what is going to happen, that's very hard to understand. And that's why they also, another answer to that is also the fact that जो past, present, future की जो understanding है हमारी वो भी limited है, ठीक है? So Allah is outside of this time and space. He is the one who created time and space. So these are things which are, to a large extent, you know, you do have to take what is the most important, and sometimes something may not be making sense to you, but you might need to shelve it for some time, and then sometimes it can click. होता है ना ऐसा आपको, even किसी भी subject में, sometimes you have that eureka moment, right? So inshallah, may Allah grant us that eureka moment even for this hard topic. And if there are any more questions, you can send them in, ताकि कल फिर हम लोग inshallah we can even start human origins tomorrow. Okay, we'll sort of look at your questions tomorrow and we'll begin human origins. Okay, the recording for this is shared on a playlist which I've shared in the group. So I will also upload this to that playlist. Ji, sorry? Ji. Was that a question? मुझे आवाज नहीं आई सही तरह, sorry. Online. I don't think that was a question.
Can we leave, man?
Sorry?
Can we leave?
Hanji, you can leave. Ji. You can leave. People are leaving, yes. So if anybody has a question, you can ask. Otherwise, you can leave. Hanji. नहीं, क्रिएटर का मतलब चॉइस नहीं है, बस ये थोड़ा सा बारीक फर्क है. यानी जी किसका नाम, सॉरी, किसका नाम दे सकते हैं? कानून बनाया है? जी। हाँ, ये अल्लाह ने नहीं डिसाइड किया, बिल्कुल सही बात है। पता है, एक्चुअली मेरा ये ख्याल है कि जो हम कभी-कभी ये कह देते हैं ना, ये कि अल्लाह ने ये भी डिसाइड, वो वही वाली बात हो जाती है जो कि स्कॉलर्स जब बात कर रहे थे, और जो अशरीज और मातुरीदी और तहावी ने जब ये इनको जवाब दिया, तो वो जबराइट्स और कदराइट्स ने ये बात की थी। जबरिया और कदरिया ने ये वाली बात की थी। ये सब कुछ प्री डेस्टिन्ड है, और हम आज भी वो रिपीट कर देते हैं। तो बिकॉज वी डोंट नो दिस डिस्कशन, तो हम वो रिपीट कर देते हैं जो कि एक आम इंसान जब कुरान में ये पढ़ता है कि अल्लाह ताला ने सब कुछ लिख दिया गया है, ठीक है ना, उसको लिटरली ले लेता है इंसान, right? So we take that ayat literally, and like anybody lay person just mentions that, और फिर एक problem create हो जाती है, because we're saying essentially what those schools of thought, qadariya, jabariya, they said कि हर चीज predestined है। तो इसीलिए हम ये डिस्कस कर रहे हैं that actually it's slightly wrong to say that, ठीक है, लेकिन it's also the point is कि आप देखें ना connotation क्या हो रही है उससे, ठीक है। अगर आप उससे ये समझ रहे हैं कि यस अल्लाह सुब्हान ताला इज इन चार्ज ऑफ एवरीथिंग, इट्स वेरी वेरी बहुत ही बारीक फर्क है, ठीक है, लेकिन यू आर नॉट डिनाइंग दैट आयत, बट यू आर सेइंग बिकॉज देयर डिफरेंट वेज टू अंडरस्टैंड इट। फॉर एग्जांपल, जिस तरह एक हदीस आती है ना कि आपने अच्छा अमल किया तो आपकी जो लाइफ है, लाइफ स्पैन इंक्रीजेस। व्हाट डज दैट मीन? आप अमल करेंगे तो लाइफ स्पैन इंक्रीज होगा ना, इट्स एन इफ, राइट? इफ फैक्टर कैसे आता है? So it's like there are two choices and you chose one, ठीक है। Again, scholars ने इसको इस तरह explain किया है that Allah knows what you will choose. It's not that He chose it for you. He knows what you will choose because He knows you so well, right? Everybody is different and He knows what you will choose. The intimate knowledge of Allah. It's defined like that. नहीं, खुद के लिए कर रहे हैं. That's what scholars say. That's an interesting point. हम ये अपने लिए कर रहे हैं. We're not doing it for Allah. He doesn't need our worship. We're doing it for ourselves. Even just, yeah, he wished to be known. That is one wish of his. That वो चाहते थे कि वो जाने जाएं, ठीक है? And he wishes us to get that for ourselves. Just like माँ बाप होते हैं, ठीक है? Sometimes I used to think when I became a mother, there were a lot of questions I had about motherhood itself. ठीक है, मैं सोची थी अल्लाह ताला ने motherhood क्यों बनाई है? Like I used to think about that because it doesn't come naturally to everyone, ठीक है? तो एक तो कुछ होते हैं जो कि पहले से they have a lot of mamta in them, right? And some people sort of struggle and then they get to that point. So I used to think, why did Allah make this human being which for 20 years needs that support system? अब वो chicks होते हैं, वो कुछ weeks में they become adults and that's it. The mother doesn't need to do anything at all. बस कुछ देर के लिए करना है. And here you have these years and years and we don't even realize until we ourselves become parents कि हमारे parents ने हमारे लिए क्या कुछ किया, right? So I thought about why is it like that? Like why? ठीक है, ये क्यों इंसान को इतना वो बनाया है, इतना बेचारा कि वो बस माँ बाप के पीछे लगा रहता है और पता भी नहीं, उसको समझ भी नहीं आती कि भाई माँ बाप ने क्या कुछ मेरे लिए कर लिया है। कुरान में अल्लाह ने फिर अल्लाह के बाद मतलब पेरेंट्स का भी मेंशन किया, तब भी नहीं समझ आ रही होती जब तक कि खुद नहीं अपने ऊपर पड़ती, ठीक है, ऑनेस्टली। सो इट्स लाइक प्रीटी अमेजिंग एंड सो इट डज मेक यू थिंक finally when you feel that mamta after all that whatever mess of motherhood that you face, ठीक है, और and fatherhood I would say, तो उसमें क्या होता है कि you realize कि ये human being जब आपसे बेहतर करता है, you don't feel bad about it. You're actually like so happy if they achieve something that you never achieved, right? मतलब ये चीज जो पेरेंट्स में आती है कहाँ से आती है? And that's why Allah says that I love you more than 70 times a mother, which is an amazing example कि अल्लाह ताला खुश हो रहे हैं जब हम अपने आप को improve करें, not because he's getting anything out of it, it's because he loves us, ठीक है। तो वो जो सारा process है, and yes it might be messy, you know, it might मतलब it's hard and messy and difficult in this dunya when we're facing all of that, but when we're coming out of that, like, you know, some of the examples I think poets have given more than scholars, but yeah, scholarly poetic writings, they've come up with things like, you know, the pearl is formed when there's a tiny dust particle that goes in and it sort of irritates the clam, right? What do you call it? Oyster. तो वो इरिटेशन शुरू होती है उसको उस डस्ट पार्टिकल से और वो एक मटेरियल बनाना शुरू करता है and eventually that becomes a pearl and that's so beautiful. वो जो pearl बनता है वो शुरू कैसे होता है irritation. That's why Rumi said that how are you going to get your mirror polished if you are irritated by every rub. यानी आप अपनी किसी चीज को साफ करते हैं, ठीक है, तो आप उसको रब करते हैं, अपने मिरर को आपने पॉलिश करना है, you have to keep rubbing it until it's shiny, ठीक है. So yourself as a human being, how are you going to purify your soul, ठीक है, या your heart if you're irritated by every rub. यानी हर मुश्किल जो आपके पास आती है वो आपको essentially polish करने के लिए आ रही है. But if you're irritated every time that you're tested, yeah, every time that you get that opportunity to cleanse yourself, how are you going to be purified? तो ये बड़ी अजीब लोगों ने deep चीजें सोची हुई है. So inshallah we're going to get to those as well at the end of the
Likewise,
semester.
diamond भी इसी तरीके से होता है।
Diamond week.
Carbon भी बर्दाश्त करते करते
Exactly. Carbon, yeah, that's also an amazing thing. So finally, it's a diamond. It becomes a diamond, yes. So, okay, any more questions or comments, Ji? जी ठीक है एंजल कह रहे हैं या शैतान? शैतान इज अ जिन. एक्चुअली सेम लेवल ही बनता है ना, जिन और इंसान, क्योंकि इकट्ठे उनका टेस्ट है इन दिस दुनिया. सो ही इज आल्सो जिन एसेंशियली. It was more, you can say, a competition with humans. Revenge जो है ना वो human से ले रहा है, मतलब जो वो जो कर रहा है, जो कि जो understanding है उसकी competition की, the shaitan is competing with humans as such. And it's almost like sibling rivalry अगर आपने देखी. Sorry, but I have to bring these things again and again क्योंकि बाकी अजीब सी चीज है. Sibling rivalry क्या होती है? माँ बाप है वो एक ही तरह मोहब्बत करें. Unfortunately sometimes ऐसा नहीं होता, but ideally equal मोहब्बत होती है with all the kids. लेकिन आपस में उनकी rivalry चल रही होती है. ठीक है, अब वो शो अपने पेरेंट्स को शायद करना चाह रहे हैं, whatever, like they're sort of wanting that मोहब्बत from the parents, but जो आपस में जो उनकी है ना लड़ाई वो एक दूसरे से ही है. So that this is the same thing that he is trying to show Allah that I'm better than him. क्यों नहीं है? आप मुझे समझाएं इसको थोड़ा सा, पहले भी आपके नहीं, you're right in the sense that you're right in the sense, बिल्कुल हाँ, ये बात आप सही कह रहे हैं कि अगर आप यानी if a person falls into sin, बात यही आ गई ना कि हम अस्तगफिरुल्लाह, who is the best human being who sins and then says astaghfirullah, then seeks forgiveness. Ji, sorry. Okay, we should have to take it outside. We're going to end the session since the next class has to start. So I'll answer it outside, inshallah.